This time on a brand new series of The Gadget Show. It's a noise-cancelling headphones smackdown. Dirtiness! Dirty sound! Movie hardman Danny Dyer gets to grips with the latest film and TV streaming sites.
Love a zombie.
John tests action cameras with the best BMX boys in the business.
Good.
And Pollyanna has a go in an actual flying car.
We're flying! Oh, my word! Hello and welcome to The Gadget Show. And look, different stuff.
You're not messing about. Look at it. It's completely brilliant. We've got a brand new studio. We've got a little sofa bit there. Come down here, cameraman. Let's point your camera over there. Look, testing area. You can bomb around there on a skateboard, whatever you like. I mean, the best thing about it, the stairs. Look, actual proper. You can go up. You can go down. You could maybe you can't do that, but you can. You know what I mean? They're actual stairs. And of course, the more observant amongst you might have noticed that our geeky gadget family has grown. Look, John and Rachel. Our gadget newbie is Brainbox beauty and maths master, Miss Rachel Riley.
And our favourite gadget guru and tech tester, Mr. John Bentley Esquire, is back.
Jason and I are going to be in studio doing what The Gadget Show does best. Testing, mauling, caressing, reviewing and sometimes even licking.
Really?
Yeah, as many gadgets as we can fit into a show.
I knew you were right for this. I knew it.
And as ever, I shall be testing as many gadgets as I can get my hands on, telling you exactly which ones to buy, which ones to fall in love with, and which ones to avoid like the plague.
It's brilliant. It's like the show's had an intellectual upgrade. Don't you think, Polly? Like a 48K RAM pack.
It has. You can feel the intelligence.
Can't
it's
you?
very tangible.
I'm interested in the whole heat management thing, though. With a brain like yours, have you got a bigger fan?
Should we move on?
Yeah.
I think we should start with a bit of gadget testing. One of the most revolutionary gadgets of recent years, action cameras.
Oh, yes.
Now, GoPro, until recently, have had this market pretty much to themselves, but now there's a number of strong contenders coming along, threatening to knock them off the top spot.
Brilliant. I feel a gadget show test coming on, Johnny boy.
Exactly what I thought.
Nail it! Nail it!
Action cameras are truly incredible, wonderfully versatile, and you can use them for just about anything.
Bonfire!
We do.
Oh, this thing's incredible!
But which is the best out there at the moment? This is the home of British BMX, and I've come here to test 3 of the latest action cameras. And to do that, I need the help of 3 riders.
Morning, gentlemen.
These extreme cyclists form part of Great Britain's BMX team, and they've invited me to watch one of their final training sessions before the UCI BMX Supercross here in Manchester. A regular on the international circuit, Dan McBride is currently ranked 7th in the country. Ranked 6th, Trey White took the bronze medal in the 2012 British BMX Championships. And Grant Hill is a former national junior men's champion who's currently ranked 4th in the land. But how will the cameras cope with their extreme skills? I attached one to each of the boys' helmets. These days you can attach action cams to just about anything, with all manner of specialist mounts, straps and underwater casings.
And of course the ubiquitous and much used head mount. Good.
The first camera we put to the test was the GoPro Hero 3, worn by Dan. The Hero 3's predecessors have won every single action camera test we've ever done on The Gadget Show. Will this latest model maintain that impressive track record, though?
Though it looks similar to older GoPros, the Hero 3 is actually 30% smaller and 25% lighter.
When it comes to footage, the Hero 3 shoots higher quality video than earlier models. The precise details will depend on the version, though.
This is the silver edition that shoots 1080p at 60 frames a second. There's a black edition that even shoots 4K video, but at a rather marginal 15 frames per second.
You can also buy this handy remote, which can control up to 50 GoPros from 600 metres.
And another option is this LCD touchscreen.
So, how did the GoPro fare overall? Well, we found the battery life left a little to be desired, but the footage really was top-notch. It was pin-sharp and coped with changing light conditions very well. It would certainly take some beating. So, would the Contour Plus 2, tested by Trey, be up to the challenge? It's certainly a well-designed and sleek-looking camera, and it's capable of shooting super slow-mo at 120 frames a second.
The Contour has some of the most logical and distinctive controls. I particularly like the big switch here that you can slide it instantly into the on position, no waiting for standby, and you can lock it there too. And inside there's a position where you can set your preferences. You don't have to go through lots of menus. It doesn't have an LCD screen, but you can rotate the lens by 270 degrees, and there's a laser sight to help you line the shot up.
One impressive feature is the Contour's built-in GPS, which allows you to look back at your extreme sport, or in my case a quiet Sunday afternoon drive, for speed and location information. But enough of that. Back to the BMX. And the Contour's footage was pretty impressive, but was it as good as the GoPro? After careful consideration, I decided the answer was no, not quite. It just couldn't match the crispness. So it was all down to the Drift HD Ghost, which I'd attached to Grant's helmet to challenge the GoPro's supremacy. Now, the Drift actually has some rather impressive features. It's waterproof out of the box to 3 meters with no extra casing required, and it's the only one of the 3 cameras to come with a digital zoom.
It's got a built-in 2-inch LCD screen, and the lens can be rotated by 300 degrees, and I particularly like the continuous loop recording feature. You can set it to always store the last 5 minutes of action into a buffer, and you can hit save when something really important happens, like that amazing crash or that perfect wave.
Sadly, the Drift's picture quality doesn't match the best, but its additional features arguably make up for it. Now, time for the G ratings. And it's a good 3 Gs for the Contour. Good quality footage from a well-designed and very easy-to-use camera. And it's 4 Gs for the Drift. Slightly poorer footage, though still more than acceptable, but the built-in LCD screen and its waterproof qualities are very impressive features. And finally, the GoPro, the reigning champion. And it still has the best quality footage, but I'm only giving it 4 Gs due to its disappointing battery life and the fact they need to address the extra features now being offered by the competition.
Ooh, wow, so the GoPro's no longer way out in front.
Well, it's interesting. It was once the clear leader. Now some of the competition's catching up, and it's one of many good products.
Yeah, I agree. They've got to show their mettle now, which has got to be good for the consumer. So, you know, action cameras, GoPro, watch this space.
And for more information on any of the tech featured in tonight's show, go to channel5.com/gadget show. It's time for a short break now, but after that, Jason and I do our best to drown out the sound of one of Europe's busiest roads.
Wow! Wow! And Polly takes a ride into the future in a real-life flying car.
We're flying!
Welcome back to the Gadget Show. If you've only just tuned in, maybe I should give you a bit of a recap. Whole new studio area, mezzanine, and down there, the sumptuous testing studio. Have you seen the stairs? Did I mention these?
Did I mention once or twice?
Rachel, by the way, that's probably an important thing to do. John's back. Rachel Riley has joined us. Rachel, brain the size of a planet, you know, hair, big sticky out eyes.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the perfect demonstration of why next up we're going to be testing noise-cancelling headphones, possibly the best tech invention of this century.
You know, if you travel on a noisy train to work, or you fly a lot with the constant drone from an aeroplane, these things should, if they're doing as they're supposed to do, just cancel all that out.
Absolutely. We've got 10 pairs to test, and as always, the question, which is the best?
For our first test, Jason had brought along his large collection of synths. Whilst I listened to one of his self-composed tracks...
Is your music playing?
Oh, yeah.
Through all 10 sets of headphones in turn, he made an absolute racket in the studio.
Dirtiness! Dirty sound!
And I assessed the sound quality, comfort and noise reduction capabilities of all the headphones. The aim was for me to pick the best 3 to go forward to the next test.
Yes. Comfortable. Good start.
Oh, eat that bass. Chocolate flavoured. Coming straight at you.
Noise-cancelling headphones create their own sound waves to mimic ambient noise. When the incoming and outgoing sound waves meet, they cancel each other out, leaving you to hear only what you want to.
They're nice, but they're not going to make my top 3.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. How can you hear anything in this room?
You know what? I really wanted to like these because they look so good.
Beautiful.
But I don't like them.
Really?
Love them.
Finally, after one glorious hour of listening to Jason's interesting synth composition, I'd pick my winners.
So, Jason, out of those 10 original pairs of headphones,
Yeah.
my favourite 3 are the Sonys, the Fanny Wangs and the Parrots.
OK, cool. Next test, different environment. I think you're going to like it. Follow me.
Does that mean there's no more of your music?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Thanks for that. Cheers.
Next, we wanted to up the stakes and find the ultimate champion and put them to the test again against some serious noise pollution. This is Spaghetti Junction, one of the busiest intersections in Europe. Around 210,000 motorists use this road every day, and it's one of the most oppressively noisy places in Britain.
So obviously the perfect place for us to try and get a bit of peace and listen to some lovely, soothing classical music.
What a nice idea.
So first up, it's the Sonys.
Pump up the classical music.
Absolutely.
This is how they sound with the noise cancellation turned off. And this is how they sound with it on. They offer a massive 99.7% noise cancellation and a frequency response of 5 to 24,000 hertz.
Wow! Wow!
You impressed?
Really, 100% thoroughly impressed.
They're great, aren't they? You can barely hear any of the outside noise.
Not a hint.
No, they're designed to take those low frequency, constant, boring, drony noises out, and this is what they do.
Next, it's the Fanny Wang 3000. Without the noise cancellation, they sound like this. And with it switched on, like this. The Fanny Wangs have the longest battery life at 48 hours and a noise cancellation rate of 95%.
I think the sound quality is better. I think you're surrounded. There's a fuller, more rich sound with these.
I don't think there's a lot in it. I think if you purchased either of those, you'd be happy with their noise cancellation technology. It's very close. For me, though, the downside for the Fanny Wangs, they're just not very comfortable.
They're not. You wouldn't want to wear them for more than half an hour, I'd say.
And last to battle the background noise were the Parrot Zix. First, noise cancellation off. And then noise cancellation on.
When you take them off, they automatically pause the music.
I've just touched the side. You know, the volume control.
Please, just give me these headphones.
The Parrot Zix have a Bluetooth-connected touch-sensitive panel on the right ear that allows you to change volume and skip tracks. And the free app lets you control the balance, equaliser and sound effects.
I actually can hear you a little bit. Little bit of bleed through, but not that it really matters because you got that. These are incredible. They're just like the phones from the future.
Love at first sight.
At first fitting and at first interaction.
They ooze quality.
And now for the G ratings. It's 3 Gs for the Fanny Wangs. The sound quality and noise cancellation is great, but they were a little heavy and uncomfortable.
And it's also 3 Gs for the Sonys. They were excellent at drowning out the drone and were really comfortable, but the sound quality wasn't quite as good. And it's 4 Gs for the Parrot Zix. The sound quality was excellent, the design beautiful, the touch control feature was fantastic. In fact, had the noise cancellation been a little better, these beauties would have got the full 5 Gs.
Now it's time for the part of the show we have affectionately named Polly's Techie Thrills.
I do love that name. Yeah, this is the part where I jet off around the world hunting out the most amazing, mind-boggling and cutting-edge technological thrills that the world has to offer.
So if I've got this right, you get to go to all the glamorous locations around the world testing the best tech on offer, and I'm in studio listening to that stuff that Jason calls music. Seems fair.
This is Kelowna, a small city nestled in the Okanagan Valley, 250 miles northeast of Vancouver. And on this rather unassuming suburban road sits the house of Ray Sebring, a local legend who, believe it or not, owns a flying car.
Hi, come this way.
Thank you very much. When I got taken through Ray's house, you have little aeroplanes as handles, you have pictures with aeroplanes on. Everything was all to do with air travel.
So if you follow me, we're going to go to the garage.
It was here I'd be introduced to Ray's pride and joy.
This is the Maverick flying car.
Wow! Look at this thing! Hang on. So this thing flies?
It does. That's the #1 question we get wherever we go is, does it really fly? And yes, it absolutely does.
A missionary called Steve Saint built the original Maverick prototype 7 years ago to be used in the jungles of Central and South America. Ray joined the project 3 years ago and helped build this, the Mark V. Ray had arranged to take me flying, and en route to his local airfield, I got a chance to see how the Maverick performs on the road.
What kind of engine are we looking at in this then?
We're powered by a Subaru WRX Boxer engine, and this puts out 200 horsepower.
A lightweight carbon fibre frame and panelled bodywork keeps the total weight down to just 450 kilograms, perfect for speed.
So the fastest we've been able to do 0 to 60 is 3.9 seconds.
3.9 seconds.
I'm going to hit the throttle and boom.
And the components that are used in the Maverick, are they components that are easily attainable?
That's the big idea, is to have off-the-shelf parts that can be changed in a third world environment.
How much does this cost?
Right now, it's for sale for $96,000 US. It is an expensive car if you were just to use it as a car.
Yeah.
But the fact is, it's a cheap airplane as well.
As we pulled into Vernon Airport, the time to get the Maverick airborne and take flight was finally upon us.
So the first thing we have to do before obviously we fly is unzip the roof and get out our wings.
The Maverick's wings, or should I say wing, is housed in a case on the car's roof. It's a 14-metre wide, toughened nylon fabric parachute that's hoisted up a telescopic carbon fibre mast to a height of 15 metres.
When I think about how easy it all goes together and connects, it only took us about maybe 20 minutes. So we just unzip the canopy, open out the wings, attach the hooks, and hoist it up.
There you go.
Ready to rock and roll. That was it.
You've just set up the canopy, and believe it or not, we're ready to fly. And we now have our propeller going. We're no longer using the ground transmission.
So the power from the engine, the 190 brake horsepower, is all going through there now.
Exactly. Vernon traffic, flying car 94 Mike Victor, taking runway 05 for departure.
9840.
We're ready to take off.
Okay, if you're ready to go, we are on the runway.
I am ready to go, yes.
After just 80 metres, we hit the magic takeoff speed of 40 miles per hour.
Wow. Oh my word. We're flying. That was so quick.
Up and away.
The parachute has 2 layers of fabric lying one on top of the other. High-pressure air flows in through the vents on the leading edge, in turn providing lift.
And this is where everyone on the ground starts looking and saying, what in the world is that? It's quite amazing to think that I just drove this up here.
This is this.
We could land and then we could go through a McDonald's drive-thru if you wanted.
The Maverick's electronic fly-by-wire system allows Ray to steer in the same way as he did on the ground.
Turn to the right. I just turned my steering wheel to the right.
It's that easy.
That easy. And
Just
to turn left,
Oh, I can see, yeah. Oh my word. Wow.
As Ray turns the steering wheel, steel cables attached to the trailing edge of the parachute are pulled, in turn tilting the parachute in the desired direction of travel.
The Maverick has to be the best thing that I've done on the Gadget Show. It was one of those moments I will take with me for the rest of my life.
Wow! I have to admit, I loved the Maverick so much, it actually brought a tear to my eye.
That was absolutely ridiculous.
Wasn't it?
That was like science fiction, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang meets J.J. Abrams set 50 years from the future, and that's now.
I mean, it's like, sort of, even from Victorian days, it's what we've always wanted, isn't it? A flying car.
It is, and I've never been in a piece of technology that has attracted so much attention.
So that's the first of Polly's Techie Thrills, which is what we're calling your adventures around the world during the course of this series, and you're going to rate each of them from 0 to 100, am I right?
I am indeed, so 0 being pretty rubbish, 100 being the best ever. The flying car is one of the best things I have ever tested and ever been in, so I have to rate this pretty high, but I'll leave myself a bit of room, so I'm going to give it 92%.
92? That thing that beats it is going to be a real special thing, isn't it?
It will be.
Time for another quick break, but when we return, 1 movie star, 1 laptop, and 3 movie streaming services. But which one will survive a going over from Mr. Danny Dyer?
Downton Abbey, get off.
Welcome back to the Gadget Show.
Yes, and the gadget testing continues to come thick and fast. And the next question we're asking is, what is the best TV and movie streaming service available?
And to get our answer, we've enlisted the help of a proper international film star. Proper, yeah, it is proper. It's Danny Dyer. Watch this, mate.
Star of the screen, Danny Dyer is famously outspoken and opinionated, which makes him the perfect choice to test streaming services for us. We're almost certainly guaranteed a no-holds-barred, all-guns-blazing review.
What?
And he'd agreed to check out 3 of the leaders. First up was Blinkbox.
So Blinkbox, I've never heard of this one. You can buy stuff, you can rent stuff, but mostly renting stuff's like £3.49, which again, I don't think that's that cheap, really. So there's about 15,000 film and TV, which is impressive, to be fair. But none of them are free.
As well as searching by genre, you can type in specific details. And Danny was keen to see how well represented he was.
All right, OK, so I just put my name in, came up straight away. I've been in about 40 films, 8 movies, Dead Cert, which I'm only in for about 5 minutes. Just for the record, I ain't even lie, that's just terrible. That is a bad film. Age of Heroes, you can rent that for 99 pence. I can understand some others being on for 99 pence, but, you know, not Age of Heroes. I mean, Sean Bean's in it.
As well as boasting new release movies, Blinkbox has an impressive array of TV shows too.
Now, Game of Thrones, I've never seen that. I just did a movie with Roxanne McKee, who's in Game of Thrones. I lied to her and I said I'd seen it, and I hadn't.
So that's something for Danny to watch later. Next up was Love Film, who originally made their name with postal DVD rentals, but now offer streaming on demand as well. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't always immediately clear what was available to stream and what was only available to rent on DVD.
Well, there's 12 of my films on here, but there's only 3 of them for live streaming. And I think it sort of comes across like you can watch everything, you know? And it's only until you start delving into it a little bit where you realise, oh, actually, I can't watch that, I can't watch that, oh, let me try that, I can't watch that. And it's like, you know, I think it starts to grate you after a while.
Confusion over streaming or DVD rentals aside, Love Film does boast an impressive library of titles.
I mean, there's so much to choose from. And it's good, it's got a rating breakdown, so 5-star, and it goes right down.
I wonder what ratings Danny's movies have got.
834 nasty, horrible people have put half a star. Why'd you even bother writing half a star? Why? What's the point?
You can also leave feedback on films.
Danny Dyer's best movie. Don't let that put you off. You know, what does that mean?
In addition to established film and TV series, Love Film has recently announced a new scheme.
They've got like loads of different pilots that you can watch, and if you really like them, you can vote on them, and I think that Love Film will pick up the one that the consumer likes the most. I think that's a great idea. I think that's giving something back a little bit, I suppose.
And it didn't take long for Danny to find something to watch later. Zombieland. Right up his street, apparently.
Love a zombie.
Danny's final streaming service was Netflix.
Netflix, so easy to use from the off. You know exactly where you stand. It's a subscription thing. So, $5 a month. You know, I love the fact they've got like the old stuff like Ali G, Kevin and Perry, and then you've got things like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but you've also got sort of new stuff. Downton Abbey, get off.
Netflix allows you to set preferences, and based on your answers, it'll suggest shows you might like.
Yes, there's a thing called Taste Profile. It's like a questionnaire, I suppose. Absurd. Am I absurd? Or like absurd movies. And it says often, sometimes, or never. So I'd say probably often. Camp.
There was something else that impressed Danny about Netflix too.
What I loved about Netflix as well was this idea that they've got their own exclusive series. The only way you can watch this series is if you go onto Netflix. I don't think that's ever been done before, to be fair. House of Cards, Kevin Spacey as well, so it's not like, you know, sort of unknowns. You know, it's like proper actors. And I think that's obviously the future, isn't it? It's where we're going now in the future.
So with House of Cards ready to watch, Danny headed off to a nearby cinema. All 3 streaming services are available through the Xbox, so we'd hooked one up to a projector, and all Danny needed to do was put his feet up and get watching.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's just great, you know, the fact that it's there for you waiting after you buy it on your laptop.
With no buffering at all on any service, viewing was very straightforward. There was one drawback to Blinkbox, however.
There's no high definition at all. It's all standard definition. You'd have thought that, you know, most TVs have high definition now, so that they would just have the option.
With tablet apps available for all 3 services too, there wasn't a huge amount to choose between them when it came to the overall viewing experience. Although Netflix does offer more control over the audio.
You've got the option on here, you didn't have that on the Love Film or Blinkbox. But we're Dolby'd up here today, we're Dolby'd up.
It certainly looked like Danny was enjoying each of the shows he'd picked, but if he had to choose just one service, which would it be?
Blinkbox, good to know it's there. You know, great new releases and all that sort of stuff, but I'm all over this Netflix all day long.
Right, sit up and pay as much attention as you can afford, because now is the part of the show that is guaranteed to put butterflies in your stomach, make your legs wobble and put an excitement-shaped lump in your throat. Yes, it's the world-famous gadget show competition.
Seriously, I'm pleased you explained those symptoms. I was getting a little bit worried. Look, things have changed in the new series. A lot is different.
Yes.
But one thing that will never change is the undisputed awesomeness of the gadget show competition.
Absolutely. If you have a look over here, you can see the excited, happy, ecstatic faces of previous gadget show competition
Look at
winners.
them, 300 of them. Dr. Dre, ladies and gentlemen. That guy there from JLS, the one with the glasses. Loads of people, all happy winners. Faces like shiny, happy apples. Look at them. Beautiful.
Shiny, happy apples. And if you win this week, we expect an equally shiny, happy apple, ecstatic photo of you to put up on our board as well.
Oh, yeah. But it gets better, Rachel. It gets better. In fact, please, put some funky graphics up there, all right, to add emphasis and to make Rachel feel appreciated. Because this is the start of the new series, and so we're going to deliver. We're going to give one of you the opportunity to win the biggest gadget show competition prize fund we've ever put together in 9 years of the programme.
Just have a look at what you can win.
You could win a Samsung 55-inch 3D TV with 4 pairs of 3D glasses, a wireless keyboard and wall mount, a Finlux 32-inch 3D TV, a Samsung 22-inch LED smart TV and a BTEC TV stand.
A Sky Plus HD box and Sky's top package free for a year, a UView box, an Epson 3D projector, a 3D Blu-ray home cinema system and a Panasonic 3D Blu-ray player.
A PlayStation 4 as soon as possible after launch, a next-generation Xbox as soon as possible after launch, a Sony PS3 Move Pack, a Nintendo Wii U and a Nintendo 3DS XL.
A Turtle Beach gaming headset, a PS3, an Xbox 360 with Kinect, a Hall-Page HD gaming recorder, a Sony PS Vita and games for all the consoles.
An Apple MacBook Pro with Retina display, a Spec 13-inch Smart Shell case, an Asus 23-inch touchscreen all-in-one PC, Adobe Photoshop Elements 11, a Kindle Fire HD, an Apple iPad with Retina display, and a Samsung Smart PC tablet.
An iPad leather smart cover and wireless keyboard, an Asus VivoTab smart tablet, a Canon Selfie photo printer, an HP Envy all-in-one printer, and an Ultimaker 3D printer.
A Nikon D7000 DSLR camera and lens kit, a Seaweed photobook voucher worth £100, a 3M MP180 pocket projector, a Panasonic waterproof shockproof digital camera, and an eCareers digital photography and Photoshop Master Series course.
A Samsung Galaxy digital camera, a Panasonic camcorder, a Samsung Galaxy S4 with Impact Shield, an iPhone 5 with Impact Shield, an HTC One, an Express Glass iPad stand, and a Brefo gadget bundle.
A Bose SoundLink Bluetooth mobile speaker, Hopage My TV Freeview tuner, a Yamaha soundbar, a Pure Avalon Freeview Plus HD recorder, a Logic 3 Scuderia FS1 speaker dock with Bluetooth, a Yamaha PDX11 outdoor speaker, and a Pure Twilight.
A Karcher window vac, Karcher pressure washer, a Hoover robot vacuum cleaner, Withings wireless scales, a Mountfield lawnmower lawnmower, a DeLonghi Black Magnifica coffee maker, a DeLonghi kettle and 4-slice toaster, and a Panasonic Combi microwave.
A Panasonic rechargeable shaver, an Oral-B Tri-Zone 5000 toothbrush, a Husky retro fridge, a big green egg barbecue with accessories, a Sony in-car audio system, and a Garmin Nuvi sat-nav.
A Buffalo Multimedia Network storage device, a Western Digital portable hard drive, 1 year's free broadband from PlusNet, Kaspersky One universal security, a Monster cable set, eCareers Apple and Android app developer course, and an Ovetto recycling bin.
A pair of Logic 3 Scuderia headphones, Sennheiser HD429S smartphone headphones, Parrot Zic noise-cancelling headphones, an Apple iTunes voucher, and a Mophie juice pack for iPhone 5.
A men's Wilson Golf Club set, a Motocaddy S3 Pro and Pro Series golf bag, a Yamaha electric guitar starter pack, a Zoom G5 guitar effects pedal, a Sonos wireless music system with 2 speakers, and a Roland V-Combat electronic drum kit.
A Chimera Wand remote control, a Media Devil stylus pen, a Vata torch and batteries bundle, a Colour Lab gift voucher and Olo clip camera,
A giant road bike, a Nike Plus sports watch with GPS, a pair of Nike Air Max Plus running shoes, Pro-Tech double down elbow pads, a Penny Original Cruiser skateboard, a V-Fit athlete treadmill, and a V-Fit aerobic training cycle.
an Ice Watch Silly set, a Nike Plus fuel band, an Outwell Montana tent, 4 High Gear Summit 250 sleeping bags, a High Gear Elite picnic table set, and a kayak set.
Party table football, a 2-in-1 reversible pool and air hockey table, a Scale Extric digital platinum set, a Carrera RC chopper, a Tamiya lunchbox RC car, and a Star Galaxy pinball machine.
It's a truly mind-boggling prize haul worth an astonishing £44,000. And for your chance to win, just answer this question correctly. Cockneys are from which famous city? Is it A, Rome, B, London, or C, Rio de Janeiro? To enter, text A, B, or C to 63555 or call 0906 500 5000. Or post your answer, name and contact telephone number to The Gadget Show 1, PO Box 7557, Derby DE1 0NP.
Text costs £2 plus 1 message at standard network rate. Calls cost no more than £2 from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may vary and from mobiles will cost considerably more. Lines close at midday on the date shown on screen and 3 days later for postal entries. For rules, go to channel5.com/win and we'll repeat the question again at the end of the show.
Rachel, I've got something I think you're going to love.
Oh, yeah?
It's called Makey Makey. Makey Makey is an invention kit that allows you to control a computer using everyday items. You create a circuit using bulldog clips attached to the Makey Makey board, and then you complete that circuit by attaching the other end of the clip to any material that conducts even a slight electrical current. Let me demonstrate. Hit that and it'll go down. Down, right? Now, let me be quick and I'll explain the drawing here. Even the graphite in the pencil conducts. Now, you're already earthed. So what should happen, if I've done this right, is when you touch these flowers, you should be able to control the game. Let's get it going again.
Here we go.
Yes, it's working. Good. Yes! Isn't that absolutely astonishing? And you could do this with absolutely anything. Yes, using Makey Makey, I built my very own dog piano for Rachel, you know, as a sort of welcome gift, by wiring up 6 dogs to my synth. Isn't it brilliant? You can play it. Come on through.
Right.
Hello. The concept was easy. I set a famous dog-based ditty playing in the background and asked Rachel to use her grade 3 piano skills to accompany the track on real dogs. Grab these contacts. All you've got to do is hold them. If you touch the dog, you should complete the circuit with the aluminium they're sitting on and they become a key. Brilliant idea, but probably not quite fully thought through.
Oh, sorry, darling.
He's doing a poo. I recognise that from my toddler.
It's getting a bit more tune.
How much is that doggy in the window?
I don't think I'm going to make top 10.
No. Dog piano, fail.
Coming up, we're really feeling the force as we create some novel applications for radio frequency identification technology.
That'll do nicely. That'll do nicely. Welcome back to The Gadget Show. As you'll know, this is a lightsaber, possibly the most famous science fiction movie prop ever made. But you knew that, right?
They knew that. What they probably don't realise is you can actually use lightsabers to pay for public transport.
But more on that in a moment. I'd like to draw your attention first off
to these things. Could you grab a few there, Rachel?
I'll grab some tiny little ones.
They're called RFID chips, OK? That stands for radio frequency identification. They're in use all over the place. All of you will have used them thousands of times. The way they work is actually quite straightforward. The chip in the centre there, you can see it on that one quite nicely, passively holds information. When you wave it in front of a sensor, that information is then transferred and a decision is made to unlock your hotel room or whatever the job of the RFID chip is designed for.
Yeah, it's kind of a sophisticated electronic barcode. And what you probably haven't realised is that you use these in almost every aspect of your life.
They're in our phones, our bank cards, clothes, shopping, books, cars, passports and computers. They're used to track athletes on marathons, they're in our concert tickets, and we even inject them into our pets. Major sporting and entertainment events use them too, like the Olympics. They were used there to monitor the flow of crowds between events.
And they're getting smaller. This is going to impress you. In 2009, researchers at Bristol University made one of these small enough to fit on the back of an ant. They actually glued them on to ants.
That's amazing.
To track their movement.
That's astonishing.
And as well as getting smaller, RFID chips are becoming more intelligent. They'll soon be able to interact with the new breed of smart devices which are being developed. Smart washing machines will select the right program themselves. Smart vehicles will be able to monitor their own performance and check on other RFID-enabled cars on the road, providing real-time traffic information which will reduce congestion and improve road safety. Shopping will also be revolutionised as the chip's credit card in your pocket automatically recognises the RFID chip in the item you want to buy. There'll be no more queuing to pay for things. You'll just walk into a store, pick up what you want and walk out again. I tried that once, but I was arrested.
But most of us experience RFID chips already, on public transport. And I wanted to use them in a new and cool way, with Jason's help.
Rachel, I am going to make your bus pass lightsaber dream a reality.
First up, we need a bus pass. Now, we've had permission to use this RFID chipped pass from the bus company, but a lot of cards are still technically owned by the organisation that issues them, even though you've paid for them.
You need to wear this, and I'm not even messing about.
Right.
Quite seriously, because I'm going to use some acetone.
To get the RFID chip out, we'll need to melt away the plastic surrounding it.
Acetone is not a particularly friendly substance.
A nail varnish remover.
No, that's exactly what it is. But if used correctly and safely, it's fine. This is the acetone.
So that's going to melt plastic.
Yes. The first thing you should see, if you watch now carefully, look, can you see the blue? If I move it around,
going already.
The blue dye of the plastic is coming off. Can you see that? So embedded within this card, if we use this one as an example, is something similar to that. It's a chip and loads of wire. That's how it's able to transmit the data. When you put coiled wire next to a sensor, there's an electromagnetic reaction and the data is transferred.
Simples.
After 15 minutes, the plastic completely melts away with a little help from us, revealing the RFID chip and its wire sensor inside.
OK, so that is our basic RFID chip and wire coil. And I'll now show you a clever way of getting this onto the lightsaber. So now, I've got a piece of just metal tubing here. What I'm going to try and do is just attach this here and then wind this wire around here, OK, so that I get a ring.
And with the wire neatly wrapped, it's time to place it on the tip of the lightsaber.
Now, I've got some simple heat shrink here, which will enable me to seal this on there. All you do is apply the heat very evenly and gently. You don't get too close, otherwise it burns the heat shrink.
That is impressive.
Yeah. Now, I've got to be honest, this will not take you to a galaxy far, far away, but it might take you to Dudley.
I can't wait to test this out in Birmingham.
I can't wait for you to test it out. Hi, young people, how you doing? Good, yeah? Chest 5? Yeah. Oh. Nice to see you guys. Are you waiting for the bus? Yeah. Yeah, us too.
You know, Jedis are like buses. None come along and then take them at once. Yeah, here we go.
After you, Rachel.
Oh, thank you. Hi, one to Tetrin, please.
190, please.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Hi, man. Do you got a Jabba the Hutt's place?
Yes. 190, please.
Thank you, my man. May the force be with you, yeah?
Thank you.
Our lightsaber bus pass opened up a whole new world of possibilities. We could incorporate RFID chips from boring cards and put them into amazing objects, like...
Oh, thank you.
For you.
So we're here at the gym, and when I go to my gym, I've got a membership card which contains an RFID chip, and when I swipe that, they've got all my personal information and my photos, so they know it's me and they let me in. And what we've done, we've put a chip in this ring here. So this works the same way as your card would, so all I have to do is beat myself in, and I'm allowed entry.
That's really, really clever.
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
I mean, you need to make the ring a little bit more... you need to just open the thing for me.
Actually, there's only one of these at the moment. It's our prototype. So if you just go in the cafe, if you behave yourself, I might buy you some sweets later. If you ask at the desk, they've probably got some colouring books. I'll see you in an hour or so.
Thanks very much.
How about a fantastical reimagining of the everyday car park pass?
Go on, Jason, work your magic.
Carparcus Liberate.
There you go. Absolutely fantastic.
But the ultimate goal would be to have RFID chips fitted directly into our bodies. Or in this case, a comedy rubber thumb.
What would you like, Rachel?
I will have a matcha latte, please.
A matcha latte. I don't even know what that is. One of them. I'm paying.
Oh,
I'm paying.
Okay.
Have you got contactless payment?
Just there.
Thank you. That'll do nicely. That'll do nicely.
Do you take fingers?
Right, ready?
That's a thumb, not a finger.
It read it. There was green light then.
Decline.
What? You're kidding me?
No, decline.
Have you got any money on your card?
What do you mean it's declined?
In one sense, the technology worked, but in the
But my bank account doesn't work.
human error.
Maybe.
Run, just run. Yeah, you see, I mean, it's gone a bit wonky now, but I do think that this technology has very practical applications, even though we had a lot of fun with it, clearly. Yes. You can see some uses for it in the future.
Yeah, you can see where, when, how you can use it.
Oh yeah, let me step in with my practicality.
It's very practical. You've always got it with you, and aesthetics can only improve. I
Yeah,
think.
it's the most practical of the four, isn't it?
That is true, the one you'd wear all the time.
So, Rachel, with your lightsaber, this is your first gadget show. How was
I
it?
made it through. I've had so much fun.
It's been great,
It's been
hasn't it?
amazing. You've made me feel very welcome.
Ready for the next one?
welcome.
Ready for the next one.
All right.
Can't wait for next time.
See you next time.
See you then.
Bye.
And when we're back next time, we'll be delving into the world of 4K television.
Chris and Wes, take one.
We'll be joined by street dance champions Chris and Wes, who help us carry out the world's first ever TV test
Action, boys.
of this brand new technology.
It's amazing.
There's double toil and trouble for John. As star of Stage and Screen, Jonathan Slinger helps him choose the best tablet computer for Windows 8.
Oh my word, what is that?
And Pollyanna grapples with the latest in personal water transport tech.
This is great!
All that next time. But before you go, don't forget to enter this week's phenomenal Gadget Show competition. We're giving away the biggest prize fund in the history of the show, worth an eye-popping, jaw-dropping £44,000.
And to be in with a chance of winning the lot, you'll need to answer this question correctly. Cockneys are from which famous city? A. Rome, B. London, or C. Rio de Janeiro? To enter, text A, B or C to 63555 or call 0906 500 5000. Or post your answer, name and contact phone number to The Gadget Show 1, PO Box 7557, Derby DE10NP. Text costs £2 plus one message at standard network rate.
Calls cost no more than £2 from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may vary and from mobiles will cost considerably more.
Lines close at midday on the date shown on screen and 3 days later for postal entries. For rules, go to channel5.com/win. Goodbye and good luck.
Channel 5 has a world exclusive next. The parents of Riva Steenkamp talk of their fears for her safety, the arguing, and Riva's own dark premonition. Why did Oscar Pistorius kill our daughter? Follows the 5 News headlines next.